NEC 410.65 addresses surface-mounted incandescent fixtures recessed in normally concealed spaces and states that these fixtures shall be thermally insulated from combustible materials by not less than 3/8 inch of sand, listed thermal insulation or equivalent. This suggests that AC rigid fiberglass duct, specifically when used as a plenum, is not considered thermal insulation, but rather a component of the fixture enclosure. NEC 410.66 further clarifies the spatial relationship between these fixtures, their thermal insulation, and nearby combustible materials. It stipulates a maximum 3-inch distance between the fixtures or their thermal insulation and any combustible materials situated above the ceiling. Furthermore, it mandates a minimum 1/2-inch clearance between the fixtures themselves and combustible materials located at the sides and back. Again, this reinforces the interpretation that the AC plenum is not regarded as providing thermal protection for these types of fixtures. It's important to acknowledge that UL testing procedures, specifically UL 1598, do not require testing to include any form of insulation around the fixtures. All fixtures should be insulation compatible, with many being marked with an IC rating to indicate their suitability for direct contact with insulation. Considering these references, it is reasonable to conclude that AC ductwork is not an acceptable substitute for providing the required thermal protection for recessed non-IC rated fixtures. In essence, the NEC provisions aim to prevent fire hazards by ensuring adequate thermal isolation of heat-generating fixtures from combustible materials in concealed spaces. The code specifies acceptable insulation materials and minimum clearances to achieve this safety objective. The key takeaways are: firstly, AC ductwork is not considered equivalent to listed thermal insulation for the purposes of NEC 410.65 and 410.66. Secondly, non-IC rated recessed fixtures require proper thermal insulation and clearances from combustible materials. Thirdly, UL 1598 does not mandate insulation testing for all fixtures, but IC rated fixtures are designed for insulation contact. Therefore, using AC ductwork as a substitute for approved thermal insulation around non-IC recessed fixtures does not comply with NEC requirements.